Hello techies, I'm Divya here. On behalf of CyberBrainer, don't you think the world of tech is evolving faster than ever? Now is the perfect time to dive in and build the skills that will take you places. With CyberBrainer, we are putting you in the driver's seat of your own future. We at CyberBrainer don't just teach your interest. We believe that knowledge is power, but it's applied knowledge that truly sets you apart. Whether you're diving into data science, mastering artificial intelligence, or exploring the world of cybersecurity, our courses are designed to give you the skills that matter. So let's jump into the session and make the future yours today. Thank you.
Well, now did you get a chance to go to the business structure documents? I did review the business structure documents, but like I said, I couldn't test it out because that's how I figured I couldn't get in, because I was trying to go in and kind of, try to build a business structure, set it up, and I couldn't get in. Now, business structure, basically what it does, if you have gone to the document, you might have seen few of the architecture as page number 11 or 13. Approximately that. You might have seen a company US and Canada or something like that. There was a structure, company structure, where you will see different department, different location, different country name, and at the bottom you might have seen the jobs. This is the actual hierarchy the company follows in their day-to-day life, correct? In real-time scenario, what your company's hierarchy is, we need to tell that thing to the system. Then only he will understand who is having the highest position, who is at the lowest position, and where exactly a person will be. You're breaking up, Harish. I can't hear you. What I was saying, the business structure will help us or help the employee to understand what jobs you are doing or what job you got hired for and at which location. Without business structure, no one would be able to understand where he needs to go and what jobs he has to accomplish or he needs to work for. Now let's say I'll ask you, you got hired as a Kronos developer. Just by saying the Kronos developer, will you be able to locate the office or understand under which department, under which project, or at which floor or something? You will not be able to get that. The business structure help us to understand those things. Usually HR will share the details. Like you will be going to the, let's say, India location or US location, and over there you will go to that particular state and all those things. But in system, we need to replicate those things also. Then only system will understand. The replicating the hierarchy of an organization is done by business structure. Now the very few things, as we talked in duration this conversation, we talked about the jobs. The hierarchy, the structure, which is mostly like a tree-like structure. And the third thing, we talked about the different levels. Like if you say about the level that is over, here we call it as locations that we can say. Let's say we talked about different sites, different location, different jobs, and then we talked about different country. These are the three categories which comes together to make a business structure. These three things are over here: jobs, the hierarchy, and the levels, which usually we call it as that is a type. But the hierarchy which we wanted to create will be under location, the jobs, what all jobs is there in your company, that is under the jobs, and the different levels, the different types, that the levels is basically known as types over here. These three things, the company, the countries, different countries, then different states, then different, let's say location, then different site, different department, all comes together under the location. Now the better way to understand. Give me 1 second. I'll open a document, that business structure document, which I have shared with you, that we can go through that thing. It's mostly a page number 11. Now is page number 13. This is configured jobs page number. I just forgot the page number. Give me 1 second. For now, refer this one, but the main page is not here. Give me 1 second. I'll find it out for you that it would be easier for both of us for you to understand 23 or something. This is what I was talking about. This is the actual business structure. In real time also, the same kind of thing would be there into the system. And there would be the jobs. One more thing. If we talk about jobs, jobs can be assigned to any place. In the business structure, I guess it's not strictly like we will be going at the bottom. No, that's not the thing. We can assign it at any place. Because for the A, B, C company, there would be the CEO, correct? We can assign a job CEO over here. For Canada, we can assign country head. For USA also, we can assign country detail. We can say B. You head store manager. Store manager. Store manager is already over here. Jobs can be assigned at different places. All the jobs needs to be created on the job section which we saw. And the location is basically the hierarchy. This whole hierarchy and the different levels. As we talked, different site, different, whatever the country, they have their business unit, different states, different region, all those will be considered as a types. These three things comes together to make a business structure. Clear with this one or any doubt with this? Now on the types, we have location. I know we have type, location and job. Type is this one. This is type, the company, the country, the region, the state, the departments, the business units of what all things comes up. That can have the things which we are, the same, similar kind of thing which we talk under labor levels. If you say different things were there, but there is a slight difference between using the labor levels and the main or business structure. The main thing, the category. Basically, we can understand type as a category or a particular level, whichever you want. You can go ahead, but location is something which brings the different types and different jobs together. Actual hierarchy. Location is a business structure. Instead of that, if they would have told it as a business structure, it would be easier for us to understand. But as per their understanding, they have given a locations. With this location, if I tell you need to work as a store manager and store B, by seeing the hierarchy, you will be understanding. You need to go to A, B, C company, USA retail, then store B, and then the store manager. That's the help of business structure, and it helps us to schedule the employees. Tell the primary location or primary job of an employee that they will understand where exactly they need to work. Now there are a few more things on top of this particular business structure. Now let's say there is a store manager at store A, or let's go on a bigger site. Let's say there is a country head for USA. And let's assume the same hierarchy is there for Canada. And there would be a country head for Canada also. There would be few things or few restrictions which we need to implement that the USA country head cannot take care or cannot interfere between the USA. Like, sorry, USA will not be interfering with the Canada employees. Or Canada manager will like country head will not taking care of the USA. If you have the access of USA, you would be able to get the USA employees access. That access control thing is done by org set. That is usually we call it as org set, but it's the organization sets. Let it go. This one. The organizational set. In short, we call it as org set. This org set help us to restrict that if you have the access of USA, you will not be able to take care of. You will not be able to see the employees under the Canada or at a general or a low level. If you are the manager of store A, you won't be able to see the store B employees. And under that also, if we want to restrict a person, let's say cashier, will have a cashier team lead. Store manager may be having a senior store manager or someone. We can restrict. The cashier team lead will have the access for all the cashiers under the store A. And cashier for store B will have their lead. Who will take care of those things for the cashier of store B? That kind of granular level of smallest level of restriction also we can implement using the org set. Restriction over the business structure is done by org set. Now, what are the different types of org set? There are two types of organization set. Now, the first type will give you the access of seeing the employees for that particular location or job. That means if I'll give you the access for store A, you would be able to see the employees of store A only. You won't be able to see the employees of store B. Same case for higher level. If I give you the access for retail, you will see the retail one. If I give you the access for Canada, you will see Canada employees. Now the another type is if I will giving you the access of, let's say, under the USA, there are three. Let's say retail distribution and supplier. There are three different business units. If I'll give you the access of retail and distribution using the second type, that is known as job transfers or transfer organization set. We call it as transfer organization set. That will restrict you to transfer the employee from one job to another job. If you have the access for retail and distribution, you won't be able to transfer the employees to the what was supplier. The supply one. Now, if I'll give you the access of USA under the USA retail, distribution and supplier, that means using the manager organization set, you would be able to see the employees of all three business units. But under the job organization set or transfer organization set, I have only given you the access of retail and distribution. You can transfer the employees from retail to distribution under the retail store A to distribution store A, but you won't be able to transfer the employees from retail store A to supplier store A because you don't have the access of supplier under your transfer organization set. Or you want one more example. Now one more example. Might be, I'm not sure you might know about Mumbai, Delhi, I would say Kashmir. These are the three different regions or state. Over there, every single one has Department 1, DPD Department 1, Department 2, Department 3. And now over there we have job. I'll name Kronos developer, database developer or manager. Every single one has their own, like Mumbai will have Department 1, Department 2, Department 3. Delhi will have Department 1, Department 2, Department 2. Department 1 will have Kronos developer, database developer and manager. Similar way, the hierarchy is in a tree form. Now the access. Now let me give you the names of those. You will relate more. We have manager organizations group, transfer organization group or manager org set or transfer org set. These are the two. Now if you talk about manager, this manager. Manager org group, or you want to say it as manager org set, same thing. It will give you the access of the employees you can see or manager can see. Employees manager can see. Now what about the job or transfer org set? Transfer or group or set, it will give you the access to transfer. Employees to that location or jobs. Now, this is all about the definition thing. Now, coming to this part, let's crop this one. I'll do this now under the access part. Now I'll call it as morg for understanding, and for this I'll call it as torg. Now under the morg, you have the access for Mumbai, Delhi, all department. But under the T org, you have the access for Mumbai, Delhi, and there is only Department 1. Or let's say again, let it be Department 1. Now what it would be? With the manager or group, you would be able to see the employees under the Mumbai and Delhi with all the department and all the jobs. That's what the manager or group do. You would be able to see the Kronos developer under department for Mumbai, Kronos developer under department 3 for Mumbai, Kronos developer for department 2 under Delhi. Or similar way you would be see all the jobs for all the department for these two states. But under the transfer organization group, you have only Mumbai and Delhi and Department 1. Now, what would be the case if you want to transfer an employee from Mumbai to Delhi? Mumbai to Delhi from Department 1, Kronos developer to Department 2, Kronos developer. Is that possible with this access? Based on this, we can see all employees under Mumbai and Delhi. Because it has all department access. But we can transfer employees from Mumbai to Delhi for Department 1 only because we have specified Department 1. That means no access to other departments. Now, if I want to transfer someone from Mumbai depth 1 Kronos developer to, I am just typing many hosts that it will go to Mumbai department to Kronos developer. Is this possible? Transfer. I want to transfer. It's all about transfer. Want to transfer. What does this do? Do you do is help us to transfer the employee. But under the transfer, what access we have? We can transfer employee from Mumbai, Delhi only for department 1. But now I want to transfer to which one department 2? But we don't have the access for department 2. This will restrict us to transfer. This will become an invalid transfer and the manager will not be able to transfer. Let's say you are a manager for a team and your team has these 3 jobs. Let's say KDDV and Bhumi developer. Now I have given you the access under the manager organization group that you can see all this implies. K, DV, AM Bhumi, that would be your M org. I'll paste it. But under the T, org I'll just give you because Bhumi and Kronos developer is similar. DVA is a bit different. I have given you the transfer option for this too. Now will you be able to transfer Kronos developer to a database developer? Will you be able to transfer any DVA employee to the Kronos developer? No, not a DVA. That's how it works. The transfer organization group. If you don't have the access for that, you won't be able to transfer. Now the names. You already know the manager organization or T-org transfer organization group. This is all about the restriction. That's how we put the restriction on a business structure over here. You will see the structure if you go deep down. Let's say you under the PH, you go again, you can go deep down. You want to give the access for distribution. You will select that. Distribution retail and you will make it as manager. That means that particular employer, that particular manager will be able to see both the employees. But if I make it as transfer organization group and I remove distribution, that means he would be able to transfer the employees under the retail only. Correct. That's how, if you don't have the access for DVLA, you won't be able to transfer the employees to that job. I will talk about how we create those things with Tole. Just the theory we are going through. This too topic is clear. What exactly the org set do? What are the things there in the business structure? Jobs and business structure. This too one is clear. And remember there are 2 types of org group. The manager org group and transfer org group. Manager org group help us to see the employees to the manager. Whereas transfer org group help us or help the manager to transfer the employees within the jobs or location for which he or she has the access. Now what about the labor levels? Over here we call it as labor categories. And labor category or labor levels. Both are almost same, but there are few differences which we will talk. Under the labor category, what exactly labor categories do? The things which cannot be used in business structure. something like shift or a project. These things usually we don't assign or any. You have any crew or particular team under the project. There would be n number of teams. There would be different shifts. There would be different projects. Those things which can be changed or which needs to be accounted and needs to be taken care by the system. We create those things under labor category. Labor category over here, we can create 6 maximum. Let's say the same thing which I explained. This is a very good example, to understand the shift modeling: shift, afternoon shift, night shift. Which needs to be taken care, because this, if company is paying you more amount for the morning shift, you should know that you have many employees working on the morning shift, and whom you want to give the access for morning shift. Let's say for morning shift there would be some different morning and night. There would be different manager who will take care of those 2 shifts and the other one who will take care of different shifts. The afternoon and evening shift project wise, there would be, let's say there is a Google project, Microsoft project, Apple project, and we want to account that which particular employee is working over there, because based on the project, we can give some higher amount. Let's say Google is giving us $10 per hour. Microsoft will give us $15 per hour. Apple is giving $20 per hour for their employees, whoever is working. For that scenario, we need to keep the project name accountable for the managers. There would be few managers who will be working for project, and they will understand how their employees are working. Similar way for retail crew, different jobs level, because if there is a discrimination or something, it usually happens, but still if company wants to, it's not discrimination. Let's say if you have higher experience, you will be getting paid more. If you are at less experience, you will be paid less. That kind of thing, which then is to keep in track. Apart from the things that have already been implemented. Under the hierarchy, we go with the labor category. Maximum, we create 6 labor categories over here. And now it's time to create the details or the data which can be fit into the shift project retail crew. Something that we do, let's say, for a shift, we want to create morning shift, afternoon shift, night shift, and evening shift. That is done using labor category entries. Under the labor category entries, we create the projects which you talk. Apple, Google, Microsoft will create over here the morning shift, afternoon shift, night shift, evening shift. We create over here for shift, second shift, third shift. If some state is using that, we create over here anything, any level, project wise. The crew, whatever crew they have, let's say in their an army world, and there would be multiple crew. Normally in a day-to-day life. Also, some companies do have different crew. If it's a supermarket, they will have a crew for cleaning. They'll have crew for front desk. They will have a group for back end. They will have a crew for distribution. Like that, we can create different interests, different values, which can be used for that labor category. Now, once your labor category entry is created, now it's time to make a group. Let's say, as we talked, we want to give someone access for morning and night shift. That is done using labor category entry list. But under the labor category entry list, we cannot mix match 2 category. If I want to give a person access for Microsoft Apple morning and night shift, we cannot do that over here. What we'll do? We will create one labor category entry. Let's say I'll go over here, and under the labor category, I'll select shift, and from the shift, let's say this one, I have selected assign. Assign. These two are morning and night shift. These two I will select. I have created. I'll put the name. I'll save and I'll come over here, create a new one, and then I'll select a project. This will be a different. The second labor category entry list under the project I'll select. Let's say DC1, Apple and Microsoft. I have selected. I'll assign. Understood. Over here under the labor category entry list, we need to create a separate list. We cannot mix match. If you want to give access for Microsoft and Apple and morning and night shift, first you need to create a labor category entry list with the access of morning and night. Second type or second thing, labor category entry list. Second one with the project access of Microsoft and Apple. Now how we will match these two things, that a manager will have the access for which the Apple and Microsoft and the morning and night shift. That is done using our next building block. And that block is known as labor category profile. Labor category profile help us to mix match those things. I'll come over here. I will select. Let's say this is a shift 1. I'll select and assign this one. This shift is giving you the access for morning and night shift. Now what about the project? Let's say this is a project which will give us the Microsoft and Apple access. Now this particular manager has the access for Microsoft Apple morning shift, morning and night shift. Correct? This is a place where we mix match those things. Mix my different category access. Now, if you want to create someone who has the access for morning instead of morning and night, it would be evening and afternoon plus Apple and my. What I'll do? I'll create a new one, but I'll not assign. I'll assign this one. I'll go down. This one to this one. Let's say this is a shift which has the access for afternoon, evening. I'll assign this one. Now we have someone having the access of Apple and Microsoft, but this time the particular manager can only see the employees who would be there in the morning, afternoon, and evening shift. Got. On this one. I'm listening. This one, you have access to all shifts. Basically. Based on the name, it's all shift access. You will having the access of morning, evening, night and all the shifts. This we can say the manager of both the managers. Or maybe the team leads for morning and night and evening and afternoon. This particular profile will be assigned to the manager that will have the access for all the shifts for Apple and Microsoft. How you will restrict? Now this is about the restriction with the labor category. Organization set. We learn how we restrict the jobs based on business structure. Labor category profile is used to restrict for the labor category. Previously we were not. We were not having the access to club those things in Central. The clubbing of these two things is directly done using employees profile. Now over here. You know about employee group that gives you the access for employees. But now over here we have employee group that will have the mix match of like the combination of both the labor category profile and the manager organization group over here. You will create new. Over here we have labor category profile. You will get the list. You can select from that and over here this. All are manager organization group or set which you call. You won't see any transfer organization group over here. Because employee group gives you the access of what all employees you will see. Previously in Central, we directly create the manager organization set and we assign into the employee's profile. But in Dimension, we cannot do that. We need to come to employee group and we need to select this particular organization set. And if you want to give a category with those project shift, what are labor categories we have created? I will select this. Now this will restrict with the jobs related things hierarchy wise. This will restrict based on labor level. Understood? Yes, I'm just listening. Yes? Now, this is all about the mix matching. And then you assign this employee group to employee's profile. Now, once you the employee, not manager's profile, the manager will have the access for employees over here and the things which I owe here. Now I will be giving you a task. And the task is what we discuss. To practice it out, you will create a normal structure that will have whatever name of company you want. And then we will be. I'm just wanted to make it simple for us to now company name. Then you say, or let's say Australia. I'll say Australia, India, the two countries under the Australia you will have. Under Australia, you will have Sydney, Melbourne. And then you will have sorry, what if I mistyped or typed it wrong? Forgive me. And under the India, you will have Mumbai and Delhi. Now the jobs would be same for all. And the jobs would be KDDB, A and Bhumi. This is for the SBA, and then you will have the business structure. This is B. Now on the labor level, it's already created labor levels or labor category. You will create a project with Microsoft, Apple, Google Shift with morning, afternoon, evening, night, and the things which we have discussed, the access wise. You need to do that. Or do you want me to write that? For the access, the one which we talked about from the example. If you have the access for Microsoft, Apple Shift, I'll type this one for the labor category. One would be the Microsoft, Apple and morning, afternoon. Then Apple, Google. This is first category group. C group you need to create. Second, this one with evening and night. And for business structure group, you will create NORG that will have Australia, India, but it will have only Sydney and Mumbai access. And there would be TORG. Make it Sydney, Mumbai, Melbourne. Let's make it Delhi. For the business sector TORG, you will give Sydney, Melbourne, and Australia. This is what the access you will create. I'll say group 2, I'll say group 1. And then you will create group 2. This is the task. Try to go along with this and tomorrow we will go through this. If you won't be able to, if you face an issue, we will go through it. I'll check and whatever is missing part, we will create that. That would be what we say learning with a practice. I'll copy paste and set it in chat. Please do copy those things. One session would be gone, it will vanish. Copy the access along with this task. Code. And if you want to create a group based on job, try it out with the based on group. With the job, if you want to do, you can do whatever any kind of things you want to do. You have exercise in business structure document also. If you want to create that hierarchy, go ahead and create. If you face any issue, because we have to go through this configuration part tomorrow. Still, if you want, go ahead and practice it up, and I'll share this one too. The theory part that you would be able to understand. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.